All right, folks, welcome back to our Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer tournament coverage here on SpeedGaming 2. We've got another exciting pair of races for you. We have got Paratroopa 1 and ZodiacDredd, and the good news for both of them is that both of these runners already have punched a ticket into the bracket stages based on the records that we already see here in Group I. ZodiacDredd currently 4-0. Paratroopa 1 is 3-1. So basically, this match will simply determine seedings here. ZodiacDredd is going to want to try and get both of them, get that 6-0 record, get a high seeding going to the bracket stage, while Paratroopa would like to win both herself, get to 5-1, and have a nice ranking going to the bracket stages as well. Hi, everybody. I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23. Joining me on the commentary here is going to be Grawlwolf. Grawlwolf, as I mentioned, this is going to be a very exciting pair of races we're going to see right here.
Oh, don't even get me started. Like, that is such an understatement, I think. You know, we've got Paratroopa, who's on the newer side of running this randomizer. You know, we saw her in the tournament last year, had a 2-4 record, has already just absolutely gone above and beyond what she did last year. Looking at the brackets run, definitely, like you said, looking for a 2-0 here against ZodiacDredd, who is a veteran of this game. I've been watching him ever since I first got interested in randomizer, so no stranger to the randomizer, no stranger to what's going to be expected of him, especially in this tourney Group 2 flag set that we're going to be doing. I am excited. The new up-and-comer versus the veteran, I can't wait to see what happens here.
Absolutely, and they both get through 2-5 with no problem at all. Look at this! 3 panel 10s right in front of each other. You know what that means? We have just 1-4.
That is a big key piece of information that these runners need, especially as they get started off in this World 6. A lot of things can go bad. A lot of things can get really dicey. And knowing that there's only going to be one fortress means you see a fortress, you play a fortress, you don't worry about that again.
Absolutely. This is the 1.6 beta where ZodiacDredd is. Speaking of betas, we have a beta on Paratroopa's screen. This is the 5.8 beta. I call it the 5.8 beta just because of how fast this goes, much like 5.8 does in the vanilla game. I mean, you could argue it's the 5.4 beta, but that's a nasty enemy set. And Paratroopa did a good job dodging all of those fire chomps.
Absolutely. I love the strategy of walk, don't run in that regard. Because, you know, any of those are perfectly capable of taking Small Mario down a lot of notches. So with that, you know, what a great place for her to be. You know, she's not far behind. She's got a hammer already. With it being a turning 2 group standard, you know, we're not going to see the in-card game. Or we are going to see the in-card game. I apologize. That's the second seed. But we're going to have an in-card game. We're going to have Boomerang Brothers. We're going to have a lot of things going on here. And Paratroopa's already using that hammer. Says, hey, I want to know what's going on here.
Well, it does get her a little bit closer, but there was a better pipe to be had, it looks like.
Absolutely, but even then, like level 2 panel, I should say. And
another hammer for Paratroopa here in World 6. That is crazy. So now Paratroopa going to play the last of the Hammer Brothers stages here, and is going to find if this is another hammer. No, it's a star, but still not too shabby, as Zodiac picks up a hammer himself. You're absolutely right, Grawlwolf. We are dealing with the standard Group 2 flag, so you have the end card game, you have the hammers breaking the locks. Second game, no end card game, but the hammers will still break locks, and there's that second hammer for Zodiac.
I am very curious to see if this is going to be a huge payoff on the side of Paratroopa, because this 5-3 is all that's separating her from the pipe that's at the top of the level, which will take her close to Lemmy's castle. Basically where 610 usually is where the second pipe is. So only one required level here on out for Paratroopa, unless that fortress is required.
So here's the thing. Paratroopa does have the lead, but she is now down 1 hammer as ZodiacDredd has the 2 hammers that he picked up from the Hammer Bros stages. But yeah, we've got Boss Bass here in 5-3, and that's another one of those levels that he tends to like to hang around, is 5-3.
And definitely the trick here is to not take off Boss Bass at the top, because if you do, he will respawn at the bottom. Cheap will respawn no matter where you are, no matter what happens. But for Boss Bass, he does have to go by the guidelines of staying in the same level. So not a bad decision for either of these runners to leave Boss Bass where he was and move on.
Paratroopa opting for the 5 extra lives there, the triple stars, traded to some fireworks. So we're pretty much neck and neck now because of that. Oh, the fort, though, is required because of the bridge.
And with that, the leadership changes back to ZodiacDredd, as Paratroopa will have to go back and I believe play 6F1 here. So we will see her do that here in just one moment.
And you had mentioned that exactly when we're talking about just the one fort. Just play the fort, don't have to worry about another one. And the gamble, unfortunately, doesn't pay off for Paratroopa.
You know, but I got to be completely honest. I love this aggressive mentality that she's bringing in so far. You know, there's a lot of things that you could be looking at in this situation, specifically as Paratroopa. And honestly, you know, what a great way to come out and say, yeah, I got a hammer. Yeah, I'm going to use it. Hey, what you going to do about it? You know, maybe it pays off. Maybe it doesn't. She still has an extra hammer. And maybe hammers come out very freely in this, and she's not going to be punished for that.
Absolutely, and you know, you can't fault Paratroopa for taking chances. She knows who her opponent is in ZodiacDredd, one of the best in the business, as you had mentioned earlier, so you gotta take risks sometimes. But unfortunately, one of the mentalities I like to say when it comes to races between favorites and an underdog is that RNG tends to favor the favorites.
Absolutely, and really, it's not just because, oh, it's unfair and it knows whatever. No, the game doesn't know.
It doesn't,
no. Do know. And the players know how a game is going to react. It knows what they should be looking for. And they know, you know, out of all possibilities, what is the best call here. And right now, for ZodiacDredd, that's to play 3F1.
Well, look at this. We have 3 forts here in World 4. There are 2 locks. We have to build the bridge, and he's hoping that 3F1 is going to be a ticket. Is World 4 going to be that easy, or do we have to play this one out? ZodiacDredd opting not to go for the door 3 strats. Paratroopa now at the Lemmy fight, unfortunately shorting the jump. Needs 3 hits. That was what we had on Zodiac's side. There's 2. Just needs 1 more. Paratroopa trying to wait for Lemmy to come to her, but Lemmy's just staying put. No matter. Paratroopa takes him down, and look at that.
Wow.
A jet World 4. Forget the other 2 forts. We've got the World 5 airship. We've got Iggy Koopa. And Iggy, of course, tends to have that crazy hitbox. So Zodiac's probably going to hope that he's just a 1-hitter. Obviously, the people in chat would like to see a 5-hitter. Let's see what we've got. 1, that's not going to do it. 2 it is.
A very weak Iggy on the side of ZodiacDredd. You know, Paratroopa, one of the things that I really appreciate when I first started watching Randomizer, I remember watching the race between Mitch Flowerpower and Macobra, and Macobra took the first one defiantly, and he was asked in interviews, why did you play like you did? He said, because I don't have another chance. He said, I have to make it count. And in Paratroopas, that's exactly it. You know, you have to play to your strengths. You have to play to your best of your abilities. And I think so far we have seen that to some degree.
Paratroopa found a pair of stars, so got 1 prize from the end card game. And we've got World 7 up next, the Pipe Maze. And so far, it's 3-pipe Monty. Oh, finds the pipe with the view.
Yeah, definitely one that you like seeing, but hate being in because you can't go anywhere. So there's nothing you can do about that. No hammers, no clouds. Nothing is going to get you out of that situation. And honestly, ZodiacDredd, with a little bit of information.
Wow, that is going to be a Jet World 7 because with the hammers breaking locks, doesn't even have to worry about the fort. Just has to get through this hand stage. Let's see what the prize is going to be. It is, ooh, a Tanuki suit. Not too shabby.
And looks like Paratroopa making the wrong gamble here. Has pipe and is now playing 4F1, I believe, and really needs to make a decision of what she wants to do here.
Gonna use the star and take on the Hammer Bros here. Is ZodiacDredd using the leaf to fly over the piranhas there, the munches, excuse me, and picks up a star.
Yeah, definitely can't fault her for wanting to go ahead and play, you know, a couple of extra Boomerang Brothers, things like that. Unfortunately, just, yeah, you hate to see it. You know, there's the Hammer Brother at the beginning, and I don't know why you wouldn't play that first Fortress. It's an easy one to get to. Maybe she's banking on it being a little bit of a harder strategy to get through. I don't know.
Yep, it's just one of those things. Paratroopa is taking the chances here. It's just not been the right ones here. And ZodiacDredd flying through the seat here. We've got the World 7 airship, and we've got Ludwig von Koopa with the high jump, no less. 1 hit won't do it. 2 hits, that's not enough either. 3 hits, need more than that. How about 4? 4 hits. A nice sympathy there from Ludwig. Down he goes. Zodiac moving on to the next world.
Looks like Paratroopa's still stuck in the World 4 maze. Has opted to go ahead and play 3-3 here, so she doesn't really... I mean, she's just waiting for the Fortress to come up next. So we'll have to wait and see. Unfortunately, it will be a unnecessary Fortress. Hopefully it's something easier like World 2 Fortress, World 1 Fortress, something like that.
Yeah, I sure hope it's not 7F2. Actually, that was 3-8 that Paratroopa got done with. Of course, both 3-8 and 3-3 are similar, is that the stage goes up and down and up and down.
You're absolutely right. Good call on that. I apologize.
No problem.
Navy. So not a terrible turn of events for Paratroopa. Unfortunately, though, we'll realize very quickly, wait a second, this is the wrong one. What did I miss?
All right. Meanwhile, speaking of not required forts, we got the World 1 fort and gets a tail. So Zodiac, if wants to, can go up and get the prize. There's just one problem. This Hotfoot is going to be a pest.
Absolutely. I think it's on ZodiacDredd. Okay, looks like he got the respawn. I was going to say.
Nice. Yeah.
Otherwise, go back to the left. All you have to worry about is a rotodisc, and you know exactly where it's going.
Tell you what, Tanuki suits, they are flying like hotcakes. We see another one. Remember, that's the hand stage item. So if we see other hand stages, we'll get another Tanuki suit. And here we got the World 8 fort.
Little interesting that World 1 has both the first and the last fortress you'll come to in the game. But ZodiacDredd will be coming through this in a moment. And I did want to mention real quick, you talked about World 1 not being necessary. And that is because, as we just saw, ZodiacDredd did get an item instead of defeat Boom Boom, which means the lock does not actually break. So absolutely, it's not a necessary lock. It's not even in the way. It's completely out of the way over by like 1-4. So yeah, go ahead and go for the item. And a Tanuki suit, that's a good item to have.
And Zodiac pulling off the 1 cycle here in the World 8 fort. Paratroopa, meanwhile, she's going to be on her way to the airship here in World 2. So Boom Boom goes down. Oh, Paratroopa shorting the jump on the fire, bro. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, a little too close for comfort for sure, but music box does come out. We'll see if she decides to use that here in World 7 coming up next for.
Zodiac's now made it to the end card game, and he'll find this. Looks like he's got the same board that Paratroopa's got.
That is interesting. My understanding is that it's a randomized board.
Yep.
So I'm not 100% sure that it's actually, based on the randomizer. I think it's still random within the randomizer.
Oh, it is random. You're absolutely right. It's just, I believe, and maybe I'm wrong about this, they might have just gotten the same 1 in 8 chance.
Very interesting. Iggy go down without too much of a fight from Paratroopa. ZodiacDredd still working on a 7-1 clip here.
Yeah, unfortunately, having some problems here. It's much easier to do this without a tail, but Zodiac, timing's a little bit off here.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one he's going for, if it's the corner or the duck jump into the corner panel in the top right of the door. Either way, if he is going for the second one, he definitely needs to start doing a duck jump. Otherwise, he is going to start wasting time here if he had just gone through the level itself.
And I believe, we had asked about this the other day. How many attempts does it take before it becomes not worth it? I think somebody had mentioned 18.
Yeah, it's about 17 or 18, depending on how you do the jump. Obviously, if he's just going back and forth from the pipes, that's one thing. Typically, if I miss it like 4 or 5 times in a row, I start getting antsy, start wanting to change it. I'll actually go back to the beginning of the level to take a different value and go from there. But no problem for ZodiacDredd. Now he's through.
Yep, it did probably take him more attempts that he would have loved to have taken, but does manage to pull up. And no, they did not get the same card set. The stars were similar located, but there was no coins in the way like in ZodiacDredd, so they did get 2 different boards.
Interesting for sure. And hopefully that 7-1, with it taking as long of a time as it did for ZodiacDredd, who's now in 4-4, hopefully that's a chance for, Paratroopa to maybe make up some of the difference of time here that she lost in World 4.
That is correct here. And ZodiacDredd, though, going to have to watch out because Lakitu loves to try to snipe here at the end here, but not this time as Paratroopa finds one of the hand stages, same one that ZodiacDredd found, and she'll pick up a Tanuki suit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the only thing we might have wanted to see more so on the side of Paratroopa is possibly a hammer there, because that could be a huge item. Still has 2 though, so she's really sitting well with the items so far.
Yeah, you got to remember that the hammer that she picked up in World 4 is not one that ZodiacDredd picked up, so they're both even on hammers again.
I just got called out in chat. Eat Your Rice said, I want the kitten. You're more than welcome to have it. She is in huge pain right now, so you can have her.
I wasn't going to mention anything about it, but yes, I did hear that kitten in the background. And if you say that she's a pain, then she must be a pain. I'm sorry to hear that. In any event, ZodiacDredd trying to take down Larry Cheatsy Koopa. 3 hits. That is not going to do it. 4 hits. That's not enough. He was the maximum effectiveness 5-hitter. ZodiacDredd going to try to get the animation skip, and does. Paratroopa taking down Iggy, and we'll move on to the same world that ZodiacDredd. Yeah, so she's definitely made up some time, but she's going to have to make up some more time if she really wants to get back into this race.
Absolutely, and with that, basically the biggest difference of time there was just 7-1. So we went from a world and a level or two to basically down to just a world. So hopefully Paratroopa can make that time up. You'd love to see it in less than 3, 3 or less, maybe 5 or less ultimately. But, hopefully we can see that here in just a little bit.
All right, so Paratroopa going to play the World 1 Fort. So she now knows this is not going to be the one that's going to break the requisite lock. ZodiacDredd does manage to get through 6-7. Paratroopa taking the death. I wonder if she's going to use her hammer here. No, she's not going to use her hammer. Oh, she's not even going to play it, period. She's just going to play the World 8 Fort. Oh, interesting. She wants to save her hammers.
I love this call. I love this call because there's only one more level. You know where the fortress is. You know where the level is. And you know that this will be the lock that breaks, considering World 1 Fortress is just not required here. And honestly, unless that's a cloud or a hammer that's the hidden item in World 1 Fortress, you're missing nothing. And from the commentary's perspective, we know that's a Tanuki suit. It's not necessary. I think that's a wonderful call from Para.
I tell you what, I'm liking her moxie here. She's making some gambles here. Some of them have paid off, like this one here. Some of them haven't paid off, but you know what? You gotta like the moxie here in Paratroopa. She knows who she's going up against. She's got to take some chances.
Absolutely. And we talk about a conservative strategy. We talk about some things like that. But ultimately, it's paying off. She's still not that far behind. We still have a lot of real estate to work with. Keep working on it. Keep doing your game. Keep going after a few Boomerang brothers and make it stick.
Oh man, ZodiacDredd has found 7-5. I don't know about the Jugum Cloud situation, but I don't like this enemy set. I just saw a Patui. You know what that means.
Oh yeah, there's going to be fire nippers very likely on the bottom here. This could be a huge...
All you had to do was talk about it, my friend, and the situation presents itself. We have dual fire nippers. Holy smokes. Luckily, Zodiac's got a fire suit, could just take him down, but wow, you called it right there.
Yeah, those are absolutely disgusting. We had one of those come up the other day, and it literally was guarding a pipe, very similar to how we just saw, and I got to tell you, that is a terrifying place for Zodiac to be. So relieved for the Fireflower there, I'm sure.
Meanwhile, Paratroopa opting not to try for the clip there, and remember, ZodiacDredd struggled with it, so it's actually kind of, in a way, going to come out as a wash. Luckily, the enemy set was somewhat favorable for her, so didn't have too much problem.
No, and honestly, ZodiacDredd, if I remember correctly, had the timer at 220 after that level. Hers was almost 260. So, a little bit of a gain there. I love to see it.
Absolutely here. ZodiacDredd, unfortunately, going to have to go back because he's trapped in, unless he decides to try for a clip.
If not, you're still going to build a bridge if you're down here. So either way, I think that's a good decision. The enemies here aren't bad, so maybe go after the clip a couple times. Nope, not even going to do it. Just going to go after the bridge.
A little surprised he wouldn't go after the clip there, but again, with the enemy set down there, everything seems to be contained. Looks like that the rough stuff is behind him, and it's smooth sailing from here on out. But that runaway chain chomp, though, might have something to say.
Oh, yeah. That's a bit of a rogue enemy that will stay on the screen for as long as you keep up with him. And that doesn't sound like much, but when you're running through 2.5 or some of those other levels, they can be very...
Oh! That was a close call on that sledgehammer, bro, there by Paratroopa. That had to be about a pixel away or so, but she gets through.
Some love for the side of Paratroopa from the Sledge Bros. Thankful, I'm sure.
Meanwhile, ZodiacDredd finds a match on the mushroom, gets another one on the flower. Remember, what you see on the cards is not necessarily going to be the prize that you're going to win. Have to check the inventory to find out exactly what it's going to be. Zodiac, not going to show us, though. We got 8-2, though.
Indeed, and a couple of strange levels that we've seen thus far is actually going to spell the difference between ZodiacDredd not quite able to finish off this world.
Ooh, and Zodiac going in between the two music boxes takes the 100-coin fine.
Indeed, and is looking through the inventory, wants to know what he's got, decides to go ahead and equip a P-Wing. This is a pretty common strategy for a lot of the speedrunners. If they have any kind of an issue with the level, they'll go ahead and just equip another item, almost an overpowered item for the level, to get started over. That way they don't have to worry about it and really get into the mental bog.
And here comes Paratroopa, done with World 1, so going to be on the same world as ZodiacDredd in just a bit.
Absolutely. And
oh! Do you see that? Dredd almost went too low there. He almost got sucked into the abyss there.
Thank you, P-Wing, for keeping your P-Wing status. We appreciate that.
Absolutely here. So Zodiac with the hammer, just going to break this lock. Not going to bother with the fort here, and we've got 4-1.
It's a very interesting play. I don't know that ZodiacDredd has another hammer after using it in World 7 and now World 5. So even though Paratroopa had one extra hammer, we're basically going to be all square here unless Para decides to go ahead and use the hammer on a different world. We do still have 2 and 3 coming up.
You are right about that. World 3, you have the chance for the double hammer there at the start, depending on what the pipe layout is. Of course, you usually, not always, but you usually have a lock guarding the airship at Wendy's Castle. So decisions.
Absolutely. I think best case scenario for Para with a hammer, really advantage at this point, is to hold it here. Find the fortress if it's not too far out of the way. It is a blue lock, so you're going to have to find the blue fortress for it. But then hold it for World 3. If there's a pipe right off the bat, use that to your advantage.
Look at this. Paratroopa clears the board here. Very nicely done, getting all of the prizes. Another hammer!
Was that 3? Did we just see 3 hammers?
She has 3 hammers, Growlwolf.
Holy smoke. She doesn't have to play another level for any kind of an item at this point. 3 hammers means 1 for 5, 2, and 3. Or hold 2 for the World 3 that we just talked about. Hopefully that comes up next so we can know.
Absolutely here, but Paratroopa getting 1-5 here. Almost brought it to that piranha plant, but manages to skate on by. ZodiacDredd, meanwhile, is done with World 5, so he'll be moving on to either 2 or 3. Make your predictions now.
I got to go with 3. I want to know, are the hammers going to be useful? Are they not? Is Para going to hold it? Is it going to be a factor?
No, it's going to be 2. We're going to be suspenseful here.
Oh,
you were right. You got it.
Okay, so it looks like 2 hammers would skip 2 levels. We know it can't be a 3-world fortress or a 3-fortress world. So, 7F1 could be a...
Oh, my goodness. Paratroopa just got a Jugum Cloud, but is she going to use it? No, she's going to use a leaf here. Oh, this is 7-5. And ZodiacDredd sees Fort Knox, going to take the intentional.
I love the idea of going with the tail here, and it looks like she might actually try to clip the bottom pipe here. No, actually not going to do it. And I don't know, do you try for a clip here? If you know about it, go for it. If not, it looks like she's going to go down and around and is about to find those fire nippers.
Yep, and is going to find big trouble. Use those ice blocks. Nice job.
Hey, no problem at all. I hate the idea of her losing the tail there, because if you do break the block up at the top, you can take a lot of time off that, as opposed to going down, jumping up and around, and so on and so forth. But, if you don't have the tail, you don't have the tail. You just got to keep moving.
Meanwhile, we've got the 3-9 bait on Zodiac's side with the, Paratroopa in trouble. You can't jump on that. Oh, she might be using the Jugum Cloud here. Let's see.
I think it's a really good call. You've got a lot of items here. Okay, good call. I like it.
Then she's going to use the P-Wing for... Oh, what a move.
Yeah, we just saw Zodiac do this a few minutes ago. I think it's a really good decision. You keep yourself safe. Yeah, it's a little bit slower, but you're safe.
Absolutely here. ZodiacDredd has now found 5-7 here in World 3.
And I love the strategy from Paratroopa. You're not worrying about any of the Angry Suns. You're not worrying about anything. You're just getting through the level one time only. You're going to make that cloud worthwhile. You didn't play through 7.5. You're now headed on, and you're saved in this spot. So a lot of really good plans there for Para.
Definitely here. So I would imagine she's going to use her hammer right here to break that lock. Yep. Then we'll play panel 8, which again was 4-1. Zodiac back to the cards. Now, it was either the 10 or the 20 coin that gave the extra hammer, because that was the last thing she matched.
And it looks like Zodiac is unsuccessful in finding those 10 and 20s. So hammer's just not coming out yet. And it looks like we do have a lock up in the middle of the World 3. So this could be a free Wendy, depending on what the second fortress looks like.
Yes, indeed. However, yeah, in his case, because, yeah, since there's the one lock and the one fort, he's golden. There's not going to be a lock to worry about for Wendy's castle. So this is basically going to boil down to finding the route to the pipe that gets us there. Is this going to be one of those full clear World 3s where we have to get to that pipe that's at the end?
Ooh, and a hammer does come out. It's not going to be a factor. But World 2 does still have a rock and possibly a lock where that could be necessary.
Yes, and if, let's say, Paratroopa doesn't find that hammer, let's say she uses the 2 hammers on the boulders here in World 3, doesn't get that hammer for World 2, and if that boulder skips a lot, that could come into play.
Oh, absolutely. As ZodiacDredd goes through 3-7 here, doesn't even worry about the item. No, you're absolutely right with that. If that rock is a factor, or even if it's a rock, a lock, boom, you're done, you know, those extra hammers could be a huge factor. And I believe she still has 2 more. So
yes,
don't use them in World 3. Use them in World 2.
Let's see how she decides to play this out. As Zodiac, we have found another one of the beta levels. Is I like to call it the 5-3 beta, just because it looks like the beginning of 5-3, but we do have to deal with this underwater part. It's kind of a tricky beta stage because this stage does not have any power-ups whatsoever.
No, and especially with those bloopers at the end. We did have 2 of the bloopers with kids in one yesterday. Not something that you really want to see, but what you do want to see is Paratroopa starting with the tail, going to restart her P-speed here. Perfect. I love it. Absolutely well played.
Well, she's making some moves here. She's trying to make the comeback happen here as we've got 1-1 with Boss Pass on Zodiac's side.
I think we're still a long way from the finish. Even if she doesn't use hammers in World 2, we have not even considered the possibility of hammers being necessary in World 8.
Yes, World 8 being the great equalizer as it is, because in both the races that I called earlier, World 8 tended to be a full clear where you needed to have some hammers to get on your way. As Paratroopa's got a new set of cards, no matches though.
I find that interesting. I think she's actually, okay, I'm happy that she didn't go for the double rock there. You do have just 2 levels, and one of them's going to be super easy with the tails. So, you know, she's making a lot of ground back on ZodiacDredd. Previously it was a world and a half, then it was a world. Now we've only got about a half a world between these 2 runners.
Yeah, she's definitely picked up the pace here as ZodiacDredd with the Tanuki suit. Can we get the Tanuki ending here in the World 2? Gonna have to take down Wendy, but one hit's not gonna do it. Oh no, got hitboxed! We're denied of the command, Grawwolf.
It was very close for sure. And 2 hits, Wendy, is definitely something you want to see. Unfortunately, so was the Tanuki command.
Bummer. Yep. And yep, that's a tough way to go out. And Paratroopa, oh, watch out. Having a little bit of trouble. Whoa! Ooh. The Karibo boot got her.
Yeah, one that you don't always expect. But those Goombas, you know, as soon as they come into the screen, they like to jump. And if you're jumping too, because, I mean, who doesn't jump as soon as you see an enemy? It's just a bad time.
And here's World 2 to wrap things up with 2 forts that appear to, well, one of them definitely appears to be required. Now the hammers come into play. We talked about this. Not just the boulder, now the locks could come into play.
Absolutely. The World 2 with 2 fortresses is best case scenario, I think, for Paratroopa to be able to really put a punctuation on the comeback that she's currently undergoing. So 4 pipes currently to choose from. It wasn't a long World 3. She just has to find the one that takes her to Wendy, beat her once, and go on. That's all you got to do here.
6-3, ZodiacDredd just completed. Yep, and now she knows she has to get through panel 6, 9, and 1 because the rest of those, that was the one. That was the one.
Absolutely, you're right. We did just see 3-7 come up for Zodiac, but still, she has the knowledge, she has the recon that she needs, and hopefully doesn't have a whole lot of trouble with these. Using a bit of a P-speed strat there, but the memory did just throw off the timing a little bit, but that is still the end of the level for her.
But as you were talking about that, Grawlwolf, ZodiacDredd just completed the end card game, so he now has an extra hammer at his disposal.
Good news for Zodiac, not so good news for Paratroopa, but a nice fly under pattern for ZodiacDredd in 6F2. You love to see it.
Here's Paratroopa now in the 5-3 beta. This is going to be a little bit dicey. She can only afford to take one hit. Zodiac now in the Ice Fort 6F2. Takes down Boom Boom. And we'll be moving on to the next level. And you got to believe that ZodiacDredd will utilize one or maybe even both of these hammers to get through the rest of this level. But first, going to have to get through panel 4, which is 7-9.
Oh, you love to see it. Personally, I like seeing this with a static enemy on here, Angry Sun or Cheap or Big Boss Bass, whatever the case may be. But still, you're absolutely right. You know, use your hammers here. World 8 has zero guarantees that a lock's going to be in the way or even one that's worth hammering. So use them. You've got them, use them.
It is true. You never know. You could always have that very rare chance of a 4-bridge level 8, and then your hammers are useless at that point.
Absolutely. And the last thing that you want to do, especially in a seed like this, especially against an opponent like this, is to have hammers and clouds left over at the end. That is uncalled for.
All right, so ZodiacDredd completes 7-9. Paratroopa gonna play the end card game to try and get some more inventory. So we'll see how this plays out.
You know, definitely making some matches here, definitely making some waves and all that, but you know, at what point is it too much? You know, we've seen a lot of really good decisions, a lot of really good plays from Paratroopa, and honestly, are you playing too much items now?
Maybe she was hoping to get another hammer, you know, another 10 or 20 coin match. Look at how many hammer suits ZodiacDredd has. He's got 4!
Yeah, same on the side of Paratroopa. I think it's like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
One of those items, like either the mushroom or the fire flower, must be giving the hammers because we've seen a lot of those come up.
Oh, absolutely. Paratroopa now. So we have both players in simultaneous airships. Here's the World 4 airship for Zodiac, World 2 airship for Paratroopa. Wendy just a 2-hitter. Let's see how salty Morton is. Oh, he's very salty with the earthquake. And 2 hits isn't enough. 3 hits isn't enough. Oh my goodness. 4. Ooh, missed. 4-hitter. Mega salty Morton there for Zodiac. Good kill though.
No doubt. That is a big beefy boy that you got to deal with. And as we go into World 8, we like to play a game called Bridges to Bowser, where we guess how many bridges it's going to take for our runners to get to Bowser. I'll get to guess who started with 2.
I think we're due for a 0-bridge World 8. It's going to be one of those difficult paths where, you know, having the hammers is going to be key. I've got a hunch. I'm going to go for the 0.
All right, we will have to wait and see. This is a seed that I rolled, so I'm still waiting for a little bit of a drawback. Hopefully we'll get a longer World 8, but we will have to wait and see.
All right, so far no locks up front, so this has the potential for a lot of bridges maybe. Let's see the next screen. Dark World, not going to even bother checking to see if there's any locks, pipes, or anything like that. So Zodiac's going to check a different pipe. There's 1 lock, so 4's out the window.
I like the strategy from Zodiac, where it's not even play a fortress yet. It's just, you know what the level's starting to look like. You want to make sure there's not a free Bowser in one of those pipes. You know, definitely get your bearings, know exactly where you want to be, and then figure it out from there.
Now, free Bowsers are not a thing usually in World 8. You don't find that pipe and you see Bowser's Castle with no locks or no bridges or anything like that. That's just something that just doesn't happen in the randomizer. If it does, it's like 1,000 to 1 long shot.
Absolutely. And you know, it's one of those things, even if you know what is there, if you have a 2-bridge Bowser, whatever the case may be, then you can know how to get there and so on and so forth. But you know, still a good decision from Zodiac to try to figure out where is Bowser.
Yeah, did play the Super Tanks level. So there's another lock, so now it's only 2 bridges maximum. And let's see if that's Bowser's Castle. No. So he's probably going to check the bridge again to see if that broke the lock. If it didn't, it either broke another lock, which the lock is still there, or it built the bridge. And hey, Gimp Extreme, there's your World 6 fort in World 8. It's 6F3, the carpet fort.
And now we got Paratroopa currently on 7-9, who's going to be going for a star, taking a bit of a different route, maybe to see if she can get a clip here. Okay, it looks like she will go around and find a different way.
Yeah, for those of you who are wondering, usually when Gimpic stream and when we do commentary, we look for the World 6 forts and World 8. Both of the seeds there were none, so here we are. Zodiac making this carbon fort look easy, just has to take down the boom boom. One more hit will do it. There it is.
Absolutely, and each fortress down does mean either a bridge gets built or a lock is broken, and that's really, I think, the name of the game at this point. So it does look like the lock on the right-hand side is broke, as ZodiacDredd does go into 2-3 here.
2-3, and making use of that Tanuki suit to fly into the air there, and watch out for that fire snake. Oh, got hit by something. Oof.
And with an enemy set like this on 2-3, you know, you don't really think about it. It's World 2's third level. It's not that hard. You're not that far into the game. But, you know, as soon as we randomize those characters and those enemy sets coming in, it gets...
Oh, nice! That Koopa Troopa shell doing a favor for Zodiac. Taking down the fire snake should have a free path.
Absolutely. And taking no risks on that Koopa Troopa shell going back and forth, as that can still hurt you.
Oh, Paratroopa going to use the hammer right here. Still has one hammer left, so going to be on her way to World 8. So using the many Hammer Bros suits that she has, will be on her way. ZodiacDredd, we've lost his feet. Oh, we're getting everybody in sync. Ah, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, SpeedGaming does a wonderful job of keeping us in sync. And, you know, I have to wonder, we saw the lock in the dark room at the middle top. I wonder if that's going to be a factor. I wonder if Paratroopa will use one of those extra hammers. Maybe check and see.
If she does, and you know this turns out to be a 0-1 bridger, this could be it. This is why World 8 is the great equalizer. Paratroopa is going to be on her way to World 8, taking down Morton Koopa. This one's not over yet. No bridges. Okay,
and ZodiacDredd does get the exact same situation we were just talking about, and is going to find one of our beta levels, the Great Ice-Capades, where it will be shortly before he does go to Bowser, but won't take long.
Yep, the Great Ice-Capades, the Iceberg, the 6-2 beta, whatever you want to call it. Yep, not a particularly difficult stage there. So ZodiacDredd going to take it down, going to be on his way to Bowser's Castle. That was unfortunately commentator's curse on my part. I said that this one was not over yet. Right as I say it, boom, no bridges.
Yeah, it is getting very close to finish, but what a showing from Paratroopa, and just has to go down. Oh, hopefully she'll realize that, come right back, and then find that lock, break it, and could be in Bowser's Castle here quickly too.
Oh, but doesn't decide to break that lock. Just trying to find the path, I would imagine. You can't falter for making this choice here.
No, it's definitely the smart decision. You're still in the race. You haven't seen the done yet. You know, you've still got a lot of pipes to choose from. You don't have the same information Zodiac has. Might as well just go for it.
All right, so ZodiacDredd with that Hammer Bros suit, going to try to get the clip, but which clip? Going to go for the top clip. Doesn't get it on the first try. But not the second try either. Paratroopa running out of time here. Trying to find the way out, and ZodiacDredd decides to just cash it in. There's a laser. Got to watch out. There's a lot of lasers, a lot of fireballs. Let's see what kind of pattern he gets.
Yeah, definitely a scary place to be with a Hammer Brothers suit. Any one of those can go rogue and kind of get you.
Wow!
And well.
That's a tame pattern there, Grawl Wolf. Hi, Bowser. Bye, Bowser.
Yeah, for Zodiac, you love to see that. That's, you know, you didn't have a lot of chance with the mac and cheese, and, you know, you want a really tame one, and you got it. So there you go.
Unfortunate there. Paratroopa taking a fall into the lava here in the Donut Fort 4F2. But yep, get your GGs out for ZodiacDredd. A very impressive showing there. Paratroopa made a nice comeback there, just ran out of real estate.
Absolutely, and you kind of have to start asking the question, like, what if World 4 went a little bit better? And, you know, obviously we don't have the answers. Was it that big of a difference? Would it have mattered? Would Para have gotten in? But honestly, all those answers hopefully will be answered here in just a few minutes as we start getting ready for the second race. This one's just not going to take a whole lot longer for Paratroopa, and you definitely don't want to miss the next one because we do have a difference between the two brackets, or the two flag sets.
Yes, indeed. So Paratroopa, again, very impressive showing, but now I think she's out of hammers. I think she used that on the hand bridge because she's now going to be playing the Super Tanks level.
You know, not a bad decision there. You really have nothing else to do. Eventually, you will get through World 8 and still sub 40 at this point. You know, still doing a great job. This is right about where her average is so far, and you know, really playing to her strengths and her abilities. And you know, you love to see it. You love to see players come in with what they have and what's gotten them this far, and so far so good.
All right, she's going to check now to see if she can make any progress to get to Bowser's Castle. I mean, this seed had no shortage of hammers. The first game of the one I called with Gimp Extreme, there was no shortage of music boxes. There was a point where one of the players had 7 of them in their inventory. 7.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Yeah, that's like almost a full album of music there. I kid you not, because usually, you know, back in the old days, with your records, you'd have like 10 songs on there. This had 7 music boxes.
That is also nearly an entire page of inventory. That's ridiculous. That is too many.
That's a lot, that's for sure. But Paratroopa getting through the Muncher run of 7-7 will be on her way to the next level, hopefully getting that much closer to Bowser's Castle.
Absolutely. And as we do get ready for the next one, we are going to be turning off the in-card game. So Paratroopa, using that to her advantage this time, is going to have to find something else out in the next one, and we will not be seeing nearly as many items coming out.
I like that comment that BD guy just posted. A major EP of music boxes. I think, if I remember right, EP stands for extended play. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, you're absolutely right. 3-1 here. How did Paratroopa do that? Did you see her skirt by that blooper?
I'm still trying to figure out if Paratroopa is a complete genius or just incredibly lucky. Because how many times have we seen that it was that close of a call?
A lot, but there it is. Paratroopa finds the way out, doesn't get grabbed by the hand, and yeah, she made a good, valiant effort to come back into this race. I mean, a couple gambles just not going her way, unfortunately losing out on the Hammer Bros suit. It's always dangerous to take that bottom path with the P-speed strats, because sometimes you get hit and sometimes you don't.
Yeah, absolutely. And those lasers can be very detrimental to the run, especially when you're trying to get in, try to get the battle suit going. You know, you really hope that the runner does have a star as well, but you know, just a little too late this time. And hopefully no issues with Para. We did have a bit of an issue yesterday. I believe she ended up playing it like 3 or 4 times in one of her races against Craig SMB. So hopefully a little bit of a better outcome for her this time.
All right, unfortunately losing all of her power-ups here, but again, this bridge was pretty tame by this standards. That's, again, I've called a lot of races, Growlwolf. That might be the tamest top route you'll ever see.
Oh, absolutely. There was no 3-ball barrage. There was no laser. There was nothing. Even invisible fireballs just didn't happen. So, yeah, you kind of love to see it on behalf of the runners there.
Wait a minute. Invisible fireballs. Is it when there's too many fireballs on the screen?
Yes. And it also...
Oh, Paratroopa. Even though the head is the hitbox, unfortunately just caught a piece of that head. Tough break.
Yeah, and an invisible fireball does happen with a despawn. So if you go too far back and then come back on, especially if there's like 3, then it can respawn as an invisible. And that will still cause damage.
Ah, yes. The old magic bullet theory, as it were.
Yeah, definitely not something you want to see, but Paratroopa coming back with a hammer suit was able to get through this time, so maybe we can still get a hammer kill on Bowser anyway.
Alright, having some trouble getting the Everyman's clip. Believe me, I've played this before. It is the easiest clip to get, but the timing, you still got to nail it pretty well. She's still learning the Bowser fight. Let's see if she can get through. Oh! Doing a little bit of tightrope acting there, but Paratroopa, hi Bowser. Bye Bowser. Get your GGs out for Paratroopa. She put up a good effort here in game number 1. We'll see if she can carry that momentum into game number 2.
Absolutely. And we are getting the race room set up here real quickly for our runners. We will take just a moment, give them a break, let them stretch legs, grab water, do what they need to do. We recommend that you do the same. Obviously, sitting around all day, get up, maybe do some jumping jacks, give us a couple minutes, and we'll be ready for round 2.
Stick around, you don't want to miss it.
While we are getting set up for the second race, the runners will be comparing the hash marks on the opening screen here in just one moment. We would also like to remind you of a couple of races that are coming up here over the course of the weekend. We have your Obsoletes taking on Leslie Pro 04. That is going to be on SpeedGaming 3 at 8 p.m. Eastern. And that is going to be one race you do not want to miss. So that is one of the few, in fact, I think the only tiebreaker that we are going to have in our tournament this year. It's going to be a best of one. The winner will go to brackets. The loser will have an invitation to the Challenge Cup. A lot on the line between two very talented runners. Again, that's your Obsoletes versus Leslie Pro on SpeedGaming 3 at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then right after, on the same channel, SpeedGaming 3, we have S Diesel taking on the Alan Heffley, who's a bit of a new face to the SMB3 community, but not necessarily one for randomizers, as he is also part of the Zelda 2 randomizer. Their tournament's going to be coming up here in a month or so. Then tomorrow, we start the action again at 2 p.m. with the last race between Gimp Extreme, there we go, versus iView with 7. That's going to be a very exciting one. We don't have the channel up yet for that, but definitely if you're not already following Speed Gaming, do so. They put on a lot of great races, a lot of great content. You don't want to miss a thing. And then at 3 p.m., we have Glutamic Acid versus Raikou Rider And then at 5:30 p.m., Glutamic is returning to the stage to take on the Beast Monster. So stick around. You definitely want to be a part of those. And we are going to be getting this started here in just one moment.
Absolutely. A lot of exciting races coming your way Sunday here, the Memorial Day weekend at Speed Gaming. So make sure you check those schedules out to find out exactly where those races are going to be held at. I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23. He's Growlwolf. And we're going to be getting set for game number 2 between Paratroopa and ZodiacDredd. ZodiacDredd won game number 1. That moves him up to 5-0. So if ZodiacDredd can win this one, he'll go to 6-0, and he'll join one of the handful of runners who have already punched their ticket into the bracket stages with a perfect 6-0 record.
Yeah, definitely a lot riding on the line. But if there's anybody that can take down ZodiacDredd in the group stages, it's Paratroopa. You know, we saw one error, I think. Just one error. Other than that, it was clean play, not a lot of deaths, a lot of great items coming up for Paratroopa, a lot of great inventory management on her side, and really just did a great job. And it was just World 4. Played 3 levels too many, had a couple Hammer Brothers played as well, just few too many, and really that was it. So, you know, Paratroopa definitely looking for that 5-1, or I believe it would be 4-2 at this point. If she does take a win here, already punched her ticket to brackets, sure would love to improve that, I'm sure.
Absolutely, because when you get to 3-3, you're probably going to be facing off against one of those 6-0 record players there. So it's going to be important for Paratroopa to try to get this win against ZodiacDredd if she can. But look at this. It's eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and 3F2 is going to be our starter. But we have a divergence of paths. ZodiacDredd is going to play 2-4 first, the Oasis stage.
I love this play from Zodiac. He saw 2 fortresses. You know one's going to be required. He's got a Hammer Brother right next to the level. So by some chance, if you get like 3-7 or 1-3 or one of these item stages that does have an item within the level, and you get lucky and that happens to be a hammer, this becomes a 2 fortress, very possibly required, to now a 0 fortress World 2, and you're moving on to the next one.
Of course, don't forget that hammers do break locks, but we have no end card game this time. Let's see if that hammer does come. It's a star.
I have to be completely honest. I have to hope the best for Paratroopa here, strictly because I felt like there was a lot of time taken. Oh, and a divergent.
That wasn't the right one. So ZodiacDredd, however, so Paratroopa won't play the level that ZodiacDredd just got done. They're both in the same ice fort, the 6F2. This is going to be the one that breaks the block that they need.
That is unfortunately true, but Paratroopa will actually have to play 2-4 as well, as that was a route required level. So unfortunately, there is about a level difference between Paratroopa now with ZodiacDredd, as they will both finish this world, or this fortress, and then she'll have to most likely play a Boomerang Brother and then that 2-4 again. So huge heads up play on the side of Zodiac. You know, just a lucky guess.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. RNG favors the favorites.
Yeah, one way or another. It's you know, if we didn't see it, it'd be hard to believe, but there it is.
Absolutely here.
And now, unfortunately, with that, that will mean a fight with some Hammer Brothers, and I believe it was a music box, I think, that came out. And then ZodiacDredd now onto the World 6 airship.
Yep, there it is. That music box is right there for Paratroopa. Yep, the World 6 airship. And Paratroopa's going to play out the Hammer Bros stage, try to get some items. Remember, this was a star.
Okay, then I have no idea how I knew that was a music box. Either way, we do have ZodiacDredd now picking a fight with Morton. We'll see how salty it is this time.
2 hits. No, that's not enough. Doesn't have the Earthquake this time. Just a standard amount of 3 hits. So, yeah, Bowser took a little bit of sodium out of his diet. Paratroopa picking up a Fire Flower in the Mushroom House. So she's going to stock up an inventory. And now going to play out the Oasis Stage 2-4.
I don't hate this decision from Paratroopa, but I just, the biggest thing I can caution is Paratroopa using too much time on items. You know, we saw a lot of that in the end card game. I think early, it's a great idea. It's a great strategy. You make sure you have those items in case something like 7-5 or a rough 7-9 or any of those really difficult levels.
Wow, that tiny Goomba refusing to shake off a Paratroopa there. I've never seen such determination from a little guy.
Absolutely, and that does mean Paratroopa does have to take that extra time, and unfortunately, just has to wait until it finally decides to fall off.
All right, so we have the World 7, the pipe maze here. ZodiacDredd going to use the skip. No, using the star, does want to play the stage, is going to look for the item here.
You know, it's early on. It's basically a free little item that you can get. I think it's a great decision.
All right, and hey, it was a great decision. It's a Jugum Cloud.
We get a bit of a reaction out of that small Goomba for the win. We had that mini Goomba was out for Blood Man, something, Undertale, and the mouse going for the
Oh! Paratroopa escapes with her life on that fight. She almost got high jumped, somehow dodged it, and a clutch finish.
I just have to ask, how is that possible?
I have no idea, because I think 9 times out of 10 the runner's gonna buy it there, but Paratroopa, not her. She is determined.
You know, we talk about RNG favoring the bold or the favorites, but I gotta say, you know, it looks like fortune favors the bold, because Paratroopa has just had some outstanding plays that could have resulted in a death very, very, very easily, and that would have been going through World 6 airship again. And now she is in the same world that ZodiacDredd is in.
Evan, ZodiacDredd's trying to find the way out, but guess what? No such luck. Now he's found the way out. Needs a hammer, though, because we've got a block guarding the way. I'm not sure if that fort's going to be the one. I haven't seen a panel 10 yet. Here's one stage we haven't seen yet at all. We have 2 forts, so it's a 50-50 chance here. We've got the waterfall stage, but Zodiac's having some problems getting out.
You know, we saw Paratroopa get the wrong question this last time. I really hope she gets it right this time, you know, make it a little bit of a more equal footing here. And, you know, we know that what she can do. We've seen that. We know that she can pull a really outstanding run. We know that she can do a lot of great things. I just want to see her do it.
All right, let's find out what happens. So, Paratroopa's not going to play the fort because there is a panel guarding the way. So, let's find out what happens. ZodiacDredd, it is the Navy, so a very favorable level to play. He's hoping that's going to be the one that breaks the lock, because if it's not, then we're going to have to go back, and we're going to have to find a way to get back to that fort. We have to play that panel stage, and I'm sure a lot of people are hoping that's going to be something nasty. And I'll tell you what, if this is the right one, Paratroopa's gained some time if this is right for ZodiacDredd.
Absolutely, and you definitely hope for that. You know, she passed by that fortress so many times, and I thought maybe one of these times she would just go play that panel level, then go on into the fortress just to get it done with it. But
it's good.
Great call. Wow.
So ZodiacDredd is on his way, and Paratroopa is going to be on her way as well. So this one's still close.
Oh, so close, and so much to go. We still have 6 more worlds to come. Obviously, 8 at the end. Wow. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss this.
And picking up a P-Wing there. That's almost vanilla, but the P-Wing's really on the other one. But here's the problem for Paratroopa. I mean, yeah. Oh, my gosh. What? She got hitboxed by that cannonball. Wow, what a terrible break.
You hate to see that. You absolutely hate to see that.
Really
Doing so well. And a hitbox with a bomb? Really?
That was. I don't think that was the bomb. No, that was the cannonball from the cannon there.
Either way, definitely a scary place to be for Paratroopa, but comes right back into the level, beats it this time. Nicely done.
In any event, now there is one disadvantage that Paratroopa has on ZodiacDredd. Even though this was a faster World 7 than Zodiac, she's not going to have the Jugum Cloud that Zodiac picked up on the other Piranha stage.
You know, we talked a little bit about the item inventory and things like that, and, you know, must be feeling just a little bit comfortable. Obviously, the Jugum Cloud would be a huge issue here, but did the time she saved in this level make up for that?
And then, of course, it always depends on what level ZodiacDredd ends up using that Jugum Cloud on him. If he uses it on an easy one, I mean, it's not going to really hurt her that much. But if it's like, you know, an Atlantis, a 5.9, a 7.5, a 6.6, then that could be an issue.
Oh, absolutely. Any of those that are going to take a lot of time just because of the distance of the level. You know, you've got 5.3 in there, we've got 7.9 in there, or just because it's a complicated level that could get terrifying, such as 6.6 or 7.8. Those things get really terrifying. And especially as a player, you have to keep your mental wits about you. Otherwise, you're in trouble.
I'll tell you what, Paratroopa again getting lucky there. That Ludwig von Koopa with the high jumps, the moon jumps there. Could have ended ugly there for Paratroopa, but she survives. Zodiac, meanwhile, taking care of the Air Force stage. Boom Boom is out. He'll be moving on.
We had a question in chat just a moment ago from Crimson Green, who asked, how can Roy high jump? It's the exact same answer for Ludwig von Koopa as well. It is, we have taken Randomizer even to the degree of changing the Koopaling's behavior, where any of the Koopalings can have two of the Koopalings, I should say, will have Earthquake. And of course, we've also made the Randomizer how many hits it does take. So because Roy and I believe Ludwig are the two that usually have Earthquake, if they don't, they do have a high jump as instead.
Now here's something. ZodiacDredd just built the bridge, and I always say that the fort near start never builds the bridge, and it built the bridge this time. But I'm about to tell you something that's going to lose its luster. It's the only fort of the level.
I'm going to ignore that second statement because I still think it's impressive that, oh, there's only one, or the fortress is required, and it's the one on the left. That's, a little strange, but, it's one that you love to see for sure.
I can see why you would say that there. Here's another chance for Zodiac to see if he can get this clip. We've got 7-6, and he gets it pretty quickly.
I believe that was only like 3 tries, much better than the last time. He had a lot on the last one, and you start losing time. 7-6, even more so.
Here's Paratroopa taking down the Boom Boom here, and we'll be able to build that bridge. Zodiac gonna have to take down some Hammer Bros here. Very well played. Let's see what he ends up getting. It is a mushroom.
Yeah, 7-1 definitely gave ZodiacDredd some issue last time. 7-6 this time, not so much. So you love to see it. And a hitbox on the Fire Brothers does mean a quick fight for him. And a Julian Cloud comes out. We'll see if Paratroopa goes after this one this time.
Could be in her way because and Zodiac is going to skip panel 7. So keep that in mind if Paratroopa plays it.
Yeah, going to be interesting for sure. I don't hate this idea from ZodiacDredd. Now in the World 2 airship, he's just going to fly over center mast and keep going. But no, absolutely right. If 7 or even if 4 are an easier level, depending on what Parapet plays, that could be a bit of a time save for Paris still if the Cloud was better utilized somewhere else.
Ooh, and Iggy is meaning business. He was a 4-hit Earthquake as Paratroopa gonna pick up the triple stars there. She was kind of low on lives there, so definitely falter for that play. That's a good idea.
Absolutely, and on the side of ZodiacDredd, going for an off-screen wand grab, did not get it. The screen wrap just wasn't quite there, and we'll lose a little bit of time for that.
Yep, just a tough break there. Paratroopa using a star, picking up a mushroom, and panel 6 is going to be up next. And that will be, so now let's see if she tries to go for the clip. No. I think that's one of, oh no, not this enemy set again.
That is definitely one of the places where we see the inexperience, I think I should say, for Paratroopa, where we have the veteran in ZodiacDredd who will go after those clips, will go for the riskier plays. And unfortunately for Paratroopa, that's a long walk to go through 7-6.
Boy, this could be a massive roadblock here for Paratroopa if she doesn't get this on the first try. Meanwhile, Zodiac in the World 2 fort, the Spike Fort. Got to be careful. You don't want to fly too high because there are spikes that you cannot see that are actually in play. You fly too high, you're going to lose that power up.
Paratroopa having just a little bit of a problem through 7-6. Those arrow blocks do change your direction, but you do have to play the right one in the right circumstance.
Yeah, the one that looks like a light bulb, those are the ones you can change the direction at any point, up, left, or right. But exactly, you got to make sure that you play them correctly.
And we haven't seen it yet, but once they start blinking, that does mean the time is running out, and you do have to make something happen. We'll see that here in just a moment, as that block will actually expire.
That's true, and you got to make sure you nail this jump. I've missed this jump many times here. Nail that jump, yeah!
Yeah, that's what we like to see.
5F2 now, the Lava Fort, the Sky Fort, whatever you want to call it here on Zodiac's side. And the key to this fort is just to, shorting the jump. Yeah, don't die is one of them. What I was going to say is just keep on moving.
Absolutely, and that's the truth of a lot of these. We have a lot of SMB runners And I'm going to pick on Stewie just a little bit because I remember when Stewie Cartman came from the SMB3 vanilla world into Randomizer, and the crossover was a little bit tricky because even though we've taken the levels you know you love, the ones that you've played hundreds of times, it's not what you expect. And when you get into that mentality of, oh, 5F2, I got this, no problem, P-Speed, whatever. No, you have to let that go because you can't P-Speed 5F2 depending on what the enemy set is. Maybe you can, but there's other levels you definitely cannot.
Yeah, absolutely here. But keep on moving is what you want to do, because if you slow down, that's where you can get in trouble with the potobos, though. So that's probably what we refer to as you want to keep on moving, because if you move kind of a little bit erratic at times, those potos might get to you. Played the top panel as opposed to skipping the bottom panel, and it ended up being 7-4. That's a longer stage there. So, but Paratroopa is going to pick up this Jugum Cloud that ZodiacDredd was able to get early. So now they're both sitting on one Jugum Cloud, 5-2.
And on the side of ZodiacDredd, we do have a very scary World 5. Looks like...
Oh no! Oh, good. Paratroopa was caught in the loop, and it's the World 7 with the Fire Bros. Oh, she got through it on the second try, though. Good for her.
Absolutely a scary place to be, especially if it's the arena from World 3 with the water on the bottom. But thankfully, Paratroopa was able to get through that, kept her wits, and it shows. We love to see that.
Yeah, we call it the World 7. That's what it's a beta-looking level because it's not in the actual game. But had there been Hammer Bros in World 7, that would have been the background.
Okay, today I learned.
Absolutely, that darker sky that you just saw on Paratroopa's side when she took down the Fire Bros is not in the vanilla game.
Well, there you go. And a couple of questions in chat. We had one. Time to ask the most important question. Is everybody having fun? We have 3 people that said they're having fun. I think we have more than just 3 viewers, so definitely get those answers in. We'd love to see that. And no, the credits warp is not allowed. We have a warpless run. If you want to consider it like an SMB3 vanilla speed run, it is the any % warpless.
Yes, and an item that we haven't seen yet is the anchor. The anchor can act as a wild card. It can act as any item except for 2. Obviously, it can't be a warp whistle, and it also cannot be a hammer either.
It's such an interesting place to be. I don't know what the rationale was for that. I'm sure it had something to do with how the item was actually built itself. But very interesting because we don't allow the anchor is just not a factor in this game because the airship doesn't actually change. And I think that has something to do with the auto-scroller being turned off. So instead, we made that into a randomizer item, which I think is kind of interesting.
Right, we now got Zodiac finding the way out here in World 5. Now Paratroopa playing World 2. Another Jugum Cloud picked up by Zodiac there.
You love to see it, especially as this race will start to time down. We're going to be into World 5 here about 18 minutes in, maybe just a little longer. But not a whole lot of time left to use those. So those are going to be more and more important as we look for those things like 5-9 or Atlantis or some of those auto-scroller levels or even some of the more scary ones.
5-8 beta there on Zodiac's side, and we saw the rare green Parabeetles there and some more of those darn fire chomps, and he had to slow down at the end because he was starting to get a little bit overwhelmed.
Love the play from ZodiacDredd here. Has a P-Wing, is not deterred by the fact he did not get the off-screen one grab this last time. He's going to go into a fight with Roy and try again.
Oh, but a swing and a miss, so he will not be able to get the animation skip, unfortunately. Paratroopa has probably seen enough of these fire bros there. Not able to get the mushroom, but will pick up a hammer. Two hammers. Both those Hammer brothers had hammers. Is that a factor? I think it's going to be. Absolutely, because we have not seen World 3 yet, I believe, in this seed.
No, we've got a lot left to go, and I've not seen a whole lot of items on the side of ZodiacDredd. In fact, we just saw the inventory, and there was not a hammer in there. And Paratroopa now with another cloud. Is this item maintenance going to matter?
All right, ZodiacDredd has found the World 1 fort, and you would imagine he'll go for the item here. That's exactly what he's going to do. Meanwhile, Paratroopa in the 1-5 beta. Oh, Zodiac missed! Zodiac didn't make it. I thought he had it.
And for the second time in World 1 Fortress, we have another hot foot.
This time Zodiac just waited for it to go far right, then decided to make his move. Paratroopa just one more. All right, good job. Getting through a difficult 1-5 beta and picking up a fire flower is Zodiac.
I got very scared there. I'm not going to lie. I saw Paratroopa with a shell that she was trying to avoid. She had fireball she was trying to avoid. And that piranha had been in the pipe for a long time. So a very nice timing on the side of Paratroopa to not have to play that beta level again. And now 8-2 with a cheap. This is going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Oh, but taking the death there. So decision time for Paratroopa. Is she going to skip this stage? Yes, she is.
I think that's a great call. Equip the P-Wing, go through the 3-6 here in just a moment. And ZodiacDredd not using tail to
Whoa! How did Paratroopa take down that fire snake, or that fire chomp there without getting hit? That was a... Man, she has been bold, and you're right, fortune favors the bold, like you've been saying.
Man, what a race. What a race. Both of these runners have just brought an A game. You know, they're both in brackets. They're both at the top of their groups. And yet we're still seeing this level of play between these two. I love it.
Now, here's an interesting thing here. ZodiacDredd opted again to skip the hammer. Paratroopa may decide to play that hammer. We'll see what she's got in mind.
I think the play here is to use the hammer. If you have the hammer in a World 1 where 3 levels are required, if you don't play the first one, I don't know. You've got a lot of worlds left to go. This is World 5. You still have, I believe, 3 and 6 left.
Yes. To me, this could go either way.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I could totally see Paratroopa skipping this whole thing.
And I wouldn't falter for it, but there's a fortress right there. You know where the fortress is. You beat the Boom Boom. You go down, you play 1-5, 1-6, and you move on to Larry. It's one level.
Oh, and here we go. 4-2 with Boss Bass here. We might see the glitch. I want to see this glitch.
I have to agree with Night Shifter 30. Beat one fort, speed it up. Go after that risky play in 6. Play World 3 like there's nothing left to lose. You got to play something and get it back into your favor. You still haven't lost yet. Bowser still isn't gone.
Wow, the rare no Boss Bass changing into the giant Goomba there in the water. And Paratroopa is going to play the fort. Now the question is she going to beat it naturally or is she going to go for the item? She may not have a chance at the item.
She's smart. She is a smart player. I have been watching her for the last few runs that she's done. She is a smart player. She's going to take this and go after Boom Boom.
She had no chance anyways. This is going to work out for her.
Yeah, and what a great place for her to be. The Borb isn't going to come out. It's not going to be some bro orb thing from Boom Boom. No big deal. 3 shots is still fast, and she's going to be going on without 2 extra levels. And both runners in World 5. We've got a comeback.
Yes, we do have a comeback here. So ZodiacDredd just cleared 4-4, and Paratroopa, she's right on his tail.
DLP 316, according to Race Time, the pronouns that she has put up is she and her. So that's what I'm going off of. If that's incorrect, I apologize profusely. I'm just going off the information I have.
Exactly. We're just going off the information that we have on the profiles. Absolutely. Yep. Because I know I was watching another Paratroopa, and they were also calling Paratroopa she. So if that's wrong, then the profiles have to be updated.
Absolutely. And Night Shifter 30 with a great point. If Para wins, that World 1 looms big. So what an outcome that would be. If World 4 was the detriment in the first race and World 1 was the savior. What a great art. What a beautiful story.
Oh, absolutely. Here, Paratroopa's, again, just a couple of stages behind, but right now, her focus, in my opinion, she's got to keep the sheet clean, as I like to say. She's got to avoid the unintentional deaths here and keep pace with ZodiacDredd. This could be a problem here in 4-4 because we've talked about this Lakitu. We know what they can do in terms of the snipe jobs, but luckily, Lakitu leaves her alone.
But even then, what a beautiful play from Paratroopa. She kept that Lakitu in her sights. She saw where those Spinies were coming. She could still avoid that based on being where she was in the water. What a great play. She is playing so smart right now.
And now going to use the star. And another good move because that Fire Bro is waiting for her. Use a star, get a star. Liking these plays.
Loving it. ZodiacDredd now with 7.5 has figured out, oh, cheap on 7.5. Talk
Yeah,
about cheap
cloud it. Yep, both these runners have clouds. Yep, and you're going to see both these runners straight away use those clouds. Use the pipe, save your progress. Don't worry about that level.
Double hammer's not going to matter. Oh, wait a second. Zodiac doesn't have a hammer.
Well, all of a sudden, this got really interesting. Does Paratroopa still have a hammer left?
2. Paratroopa still has 2. And Zodiac doesn't have one. There's 2 fortresses in World 3.
But here's another problem, though. If Paratroopa goes for the double boulder break, it's going to be a costly mistake. If she doesn't, she could take the lead.
She's smart. She does not have to use the 2 rocks. She has a pipe, a level, then a pipe on the left side, and then 3 pipes on the right. She gets the same information Zodiac has. If she has a cloud, which I believe she still does, that means a skip on 7.5 as soon as she knows what it is, and that's going to be a fight on Wendy. That is a leadership change.
Absolutely here. Now she's going to check this pipe first. Oh, there's Atlantis on Zodiac's side, and you're going to take the 100 coin fine.
Does he have another cloud left?
I do not know.
Oh, but there's another panel. So 3-5, he'll be able to play instead. There is one more cloud, but you have to get back at some point. Thankfully, 5-8 is there.
And Paratroopa's going to play panel 7 instead. And wow, this is unbelievable.
She has to go back. She doesn't have the tail here. So unless you can make this jump. Oh, can she make this jump?
I don't know.
Don't waste your time, Para. Go back. Meanwhile, ZodiacDredd finally able to get a Starman. We'll finish off the Lakitu and 5-8.
Yep,
and
she now recognizes, yep, you can only do that with the tail. Oh, she's going to try on this one. Nope. No.
I hate this decision. You have a beta level. Just go through one of the pipes. Either go to the one that she's just...
All right, now she went small. She's going to go from the other side. Okay, fine and dandy. But yeah, she should have done that quicker.
Absolutely. Or just go through the pipe. You know, I know a lot of runners will just go through the pipe in the beginning as soon as they know what level it is. If you don't have a tail, there you go, finally. But if you don't have a tail, just play the level. Just get through it. It would have been so much faster.
Absolutely. But she's not out of the woods yet because of this enemy set. The Fire Snake, got to get over it. Good. ZodiacDredd has to play through 5F1, which is not the worst fort to play through. But yeah, Paratroopa... You're right. She could have saved some time just going down the pipe. In a sense, though, I kinda cannot fault her because if the enemy set is rough, like that enemy set, yeah. And now she's got that hammer. She could break that lock. She's got the lead.
Hammer, cloud, and she's on to the next airship.
Oh, we have ourselves a barn burner, folks. Oh, this is going to be very exciting. Yeah, and the fact that she dodged Atlantis. She doesn't know it, but she just dodged Atlantis. Didn't even have to see it.
And not only that, it is both forts are required because the first one's in the route, the second one breaks the lock to Wendy. That is going to be huge.
But she still has to take down Wendy, and oh, she's got Earthquake, and she is beefed up with those Baconators. 3 hits. Oh boy, she came to play with all the Baconators in the world, but Paratroopa says, I don't care about those Baconators. I'm taking the lead. Let's go.
If I did not know that Paratroopa was newer to the SMB3 randomizer scene, and I'm watching this, you cannot convince me that this is not a veteran that is now playing with ZodiacDredd and is going to make this a fight to the finish and bring on all the excitement that we could possibly muster here.
So now World 6 is up next. So ZodiacDredd is going to find the way out. Resource management right here, right now, is going to be critical for Paratroopa. She's got the resources. The question is, can she use them properly?
Well, we've got a free pipe here. She's going to get a lot of really good information. Oh, use the hammer. Use the hammer. She's now, there.
Unless there's a bridge or another lock. That's the thing that could stop her right here. If there is no bridge, no lock, she's going to take a commanding lead.
Absolutely. And you've got a fortress right there where 6F3 usually is. Play it. If you've got a bridge that's required, you play that level if it's the right one. We haven't seen anything of World 6. If it's a 1-fort world, we've already seen the 3. Boom. Limmy, you're done.
Oh, my goodness gracious. You know, my heart is pounding. I'm not even in this race.
No, we got the best seats in the house, man. We got the commentary where we get to see these two duking it out, where it's leadership change, leadership change, leadership change.
Oh, there's a bridge!
But there's a fortress. We don't know yet.
This is not over yet, but yeah, if 4F1 builds the bridge, she is golden. If it doesn't, oh boy.
If it doesn't, what are you looking at? Maybe one more fortress? I mean, not a terrible decision here, but ZodiacDredd, we'll see what he decides to do here.
And guess what? The fortress is on the right side.
Zodiac realizing the hammer's just not there. Oh, we do have 3 fortresses. Oh, dear.
This is not over yet. We could have another switch in leadership.
Well, it's all going to depend, because Paratroopa is still playing route required for the most part, unless this is the wrong fortress, and Zodiac will figure that out quicker.
All right, we're about to find out here. She's going to check. Did it build it? Yes!
Oh!
Paratroopa's gamble pays off, and she's going to take a big lead.
World 5 airship now on the side of Paratroopa. That's going to be an easy way for her to get into a fight with Lemmy here in just one moment. How?
This is unbelievable stuff here. ZodiacDredd going to have to play through force. And the shrimp! Lemmy's a shrimp! You got to love it!
Icy Tower, I think the only answer to that is a world. She is now a world ahead.
All right, people in chat predict how many bridges it is going to take to build the path to Bowser's castle here. Paratroopa could be on her way to spoiling ZodiacDredd's 6-0 bid.
3-0. I got to go with the 3 bridge here because I'm always wrong, and I want the 3 to not be a factor here.
I want it to be 1 bridge.
I hope you're right. You were right last time. Paratroopa does not realize how far in lead she is right now. ZodiacDredd still has to find another fortress, still has to go back, still has to play another level, still has to play another fortress, and then go in and play another fortress and another level before he even gets a ticket to Lemmy. Paratroopa, meanwhile, just needs to punch her ticket to Bowser.
One it is. So she knows where to go. She just has to find the fort.
And there's no more hammers here. There is a cloud. This is a no-end card, so hand levels will still be a factor. But we need 1 fortress.
Indeed we do, and it very well could be this one right here. See this Air Force panel? But what is it going to be? Fort Knox, and she's got a tail! Man, Paratroopa is running the seat of her life right now.
Oh, absolutely. She was talking about in the early game as we were setting up and everything, how she favors the wonky seeds. No, man, she favors this seed. This seed has gone beautifully for her. That World 1 was perfect. That World 6 was flawless. And now she's into a World 8. And if this is the one that builds the bridge, GG, game over. You're moving on to bracket.
Yeah, she's already into brackets, but she's going to have a 4-2 record, which will be more favorable to her. And ZodiacDredd will go to a 5-1 record, which, I mean, it's still a good record, but it's not 6-0. So that seeding is going to be, not as high. Unfortunately, that's not the one that builds the bridge. This could be though one of those linear World 8s. So, and if that's the case, Zodiac's gonna have no chance of catching her.
Absolutely. And Paratroopa making a little bit of a risky decision there to play a level, go back, play a level, go back. Don't waste too much time. But now the Air Force, no hand grab there. I love to see it. World 8 Fortress. There's a lot of times World 8 Fortress is the one that builds the bridge.
Oh, Paratroopa, that was a close call. Nearly lost the mushroom there, but able to escape, but has to be careful. Oh, that was a nifty move. Go past the Disco Waffle, turn left so that Boo Diddley's not chasing you. That was a... You're right. She's a pro, and we don't even know about this. It's like she's a sneaky veteran behind that shell.
I'm just going to start calling it a para. Every time it's a close call, it's a para.
There you go. There you go. All right. So, 1 cycle? Yeah!
Oh, you love to see it. And what a groove for Para to be in. We were talking about earlier the mental game where the players just have to be in a good mental strat. ZodiacDredd with a little bit of a problem here. Sounded like he was going tilted for a little bit as well. But you have to keep a mental clear acuity about you. And we've seen nothing but that from Para so far.
Yeah, and she is going to, and she doesn't even get grabbed by the hand either, so she's going to check to see if this built the bridge. It didn't break the lock, so right now it's 50-50.
And every single fort she plays is one more down that is no longer required. And that was not the right bridge. So one more, no big deal.
And then she knows that if she goes back, she still sees that lock, then it's the right one. If she doesn't see the lock, she gets grabbed by 5-1, and she's going to take the intentional.
I like it. I really, truly do. You get a chance to regroup yourself. You don't have to worry about getting through 5-1. You know it's there. So, yep, whatever. You're through it now. Great job.
Oh, no. Oh, no. This is the gatekeeper. I'm calling it right now.
A very good possibility. And for ZodiacDredd, he does now know living is required by that fortress. So 4-4 coming into play with ZodiacDredd.
She does have a pewing. She needs to nail this here. I'm telling you right now, she's got to get this right on this attempt. I'm telling you. If she doesn't, this could be one of those situations where ZodiacDredd's skill could get him back into this. She's got to nail it on this attempt.
I have to go with a hot take here. I have to believe that she gets through it. She is an outstanding player. She's very smart. She has experience with Zelda 2 Randomizer. She is no stranger to these races and keeping a clear head about her. She hasn't seen the done. She does not know she's this far ahead at this point.
Oh my goodness gracious! That fire! Oh my god! That fire piranha scared the living daylights out of me, Growlwolf.
It's a para.
It is a para! We gotta remember the bold favoring the bold fortunes. Oh my word! ZodiacDredd finally making his way to the airship, trying to get through, but I'm going to tell you something. I think crouch slides are harder in Mario 3 than they are in Mario 1, but she does get it right there. Good.
Michael Volt, I'm not a medical professional, but it is high. It is high. It is high. Don't check our blood pressure. You don't want to do that.
It's my blood pressure to begin with. It's probably through the roof now as Paratroopa does manage to take down 7F2. If the lock explodes, then that wasn't it. It explodes, so that wasn't it.
Oh, dear. So
now
one
has to
play.
Yep. It's still not over quite yet, but Zodiac's running out of time. She just has to find the way. Is this the Super Tank Soldier? It is. 3F1's our gatekeeper.
3F1 is the gatekeeper, but like you said, is the veterancy going to matter here? ZodiacDredd does not realize how far behind he is going to start the recon process, but the game's not over. It is getting so close, though.
So this actually could have been a Jet World 8 if they would have played this stage, then checked the bridge. This could have been fast. And this is why World 8 is known as the Great Equalizer. What if ZodiacDredd makes that decision right now?
You have to ask. You have to ask the question because Paratroopa has had problems on World 8's Bowser Castle, and if Zodiac plays both of these, he has the tail for 7F1, and then if he goes into 3F1 right after, check, friendly little check, boom, you've got Bowser. It's too close to call.
Now she does have 2 hammer boosters, so she at least has 2 chances. Doesn't use the star on the first one, which is fine. That's insurance in case all goes wrong here. But right now, this is Paratroopa's race to win.
Absolutely, and it's also the one to lose because there is nothing that is...
He's doing it! He's doing it! So Paratroopa, again, has the advantage, but she's got to nail it here because ZodiacDredd is now on her tail, making the great plays here in World 8. Will the Great Equalizer come into play, or is it going to be too late for Zodiac?
Is Para going to go? Okay, not even a clip here. So it all
and
comes
2
down...
lasers already. Now this right here. Look at the barrage! Oh my god.
That's good. That is so good.
Oh, that's a hit. Yeah.
Okay, so Paratroopa cannot take a death here. Cannot take a death here because ZodiacDredd's already there.
Yes. If she takes a death, Zodiac's going to steal it.
And she's Big Mario still. The only insurance there is that she has 1 hit compared to Bowser's 3 more. ZodiacDredd does get into that level.
Yeah, got grabbed by the hand.
And Para just not taking the hitbox chance there. She's got to get out of the way. 1 more.
Line it up. Line it up. Is she going to do it? She did!
Whoa!
And Paratroopa has stopped ZodiacDredd's bid of a perfect 6-0 group stage and will win the second game. What a match!
My heart. What a match. What a race. ZodiacDredd has got to feel just, oh man, being so close, so close.
She got World 1 was the difference. ZodiacDredd, though, played a near perfect World 8 to get within striking distance, but in the end, World 1, World 6, those were the two differences in this match, and ZodiacDredd just could not come back from that deficit.
We have got to get Paratroopa into the interview for that one. We would love to hear more about that. But you're absolutely right. 1 was the start to the comeback. 6 was the finisher. And for Paratroopa to just hang in there and play Bowser Castle one time. Oh.
And ZodiacDredd can't get the clip, so he's just going to take it. By the way, that invisible fireball, I did see it on Zodiac's, on the Paratroopa side there. She didn't get hit. Well, this last fireball, oh, look where this is. Yeah.
Terrible.
How do you avoid that? How do you avoid that?
You have to hope you're on the donut in the right time and the right one so that it will go past you as you fall down. But and unfortunately, 50 MK Fox, we do not have a third match. This is round robin, so it's just going to go 1-1. Brackets are starting here soon. Those will be a best of 3. Hopefully we get another very exciting match like that, because that was outstanding.
That certainly was. It came down to the Bowser fight, down to her last hit. If she gets hit there, I think she still would have had enough time to pull it off, but it would have been difficult as ZodiacDredd gets your GG's out for him. Great series for him. He finishes 5-1. He's into the group play, or rather the bracket stages. Paratroopa 4-2, also off to the bracket stages. Great performance by the two of them today.
And not just great, man. What a fantastic way for this group to finish off. I've got goosebumps. My heart blood pressure is up. I am just bewildered by the way that these two ran. From Paratroopa with a 38-10 this time to ZodiacDredd's 40 minutes, 6 seconds, I should say. How much closer could you get?
You can't get much closer than that there. I mean, Paratroopa making the pro plays, perfect resource management in Worlds 1 and 6. ZodiacDredd playing a near-perfect World 8. That's why we call World 8 the Great Equalizer. Had this been a little bit closer, ZodiacDredd could have stole it from Paratroopa.
Oh, sure. And, I mean, you look at the hammer. The one hammer. That's all that mattered. And 6F3 was the difference. That's all that mattered. She was able to get in. She was able to break a lock. She was able to find the fortress, play the fortress, beat it, and Lemmy. You know, you talk about fortune favoring the bold, and I think that's the biggest thing here. And that obviously won out over RNG favoring the favorites here, because
it absolutely did. You are absolutely right, because early on, ZodiacDredd was getting all the lucky breaks in the world, but Paratroopa making the correct plays, perfect resource management, great dodging of enemies. There were a lot of opportunities where she could have lost time on costly deaths throughout this entire seed, but she pulled through the entire way. The clutch Bowser fight at the end, even though World 8 was not the best World 8, you know, it's just one of those situations. That's why we call World 8 the Great Equalizer. Overall, terrific run for Paratroopa. We're going to get them both in right now.
Absolutely. We are looking so forward to getting them in here. And with that, we have Paratroopa and ZodiacDredd joining us on the comms booth. Congratulations and GG's.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks.
Well, I'm going to start with you, Paratroopa. You ran quite an exceptional race there in game number 2. World 1, you played the World 1 4, didn't go for the end, couldn't go for the end because there was no Leafs there, as ZodiacDredd opted to skip it. Cost him a lot of time because he had to play through some extra stages. But the play was World 6. Using the hammer, even though you saw that you needed to build the bridge, played the fort next door. That was the one that built the bridge, gave you a commanding lead. Resource management won you game number 2 there, Paratroopa. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, World 1, I think the fort was 1-4, so there's only one lock, right? Or am I wrong?
There were 3 forts in World 6. There was just the one lock in World 1. Just the one.
Yeah. So I knew that I had to have, because you don't break the lock if you take the item at the top, right? So I just did it like instantly, and I
Correct. Yep.
broke the lock.
Yep. You broke the lock, and that got you the lead. But what gave you a stranglehold on the match was that you had better resource management. You had a couple of hammers. You had a Jugum Cloud. You put those hammers to real good use in the seed. You had a big lead going into World 8. ZodiacDredd really struggled in World 6. Even though ZodiacDredd had a near perfect World 8, the deficit was just too large for him to come back there in game number 2.
Yeah, in World 6, I don't know if I'm actually correct about this, but it looked like the way that the locks were, it looked like the last fortress had to be the one that built the bridge, because logically I would have needed to do the other fortresses to break the locks if I didn't break them with a hammer. I might be wrong about that, though. I've been wrong about that before.
You might have been right about that. We would need to look at the replay on that again. But yeah, absolutely a really good job. Let's talk about game number 1 there. Game number 1, ZodiacDredd, you pretty much had the lead throughout the entire run. The only unfortunate thing there for Paratroopa was that Paratroopa played World 4 out to the fullest. You got it right on the first fort, so that really put you into the lead there, Zodiac, and a lead that you would not relinquish. Paratroopa tried to make a comeback, just ran out of real estate.
Yeah. The first race is pretty fast too. I figured we were like neck and neck because it was pretty clean seed there. But yeah, I feel like I just got real lucky with my item usage and everything lining up. Especially kind of in World 8, I kind of rolled the dice a little bit. Usually I try to play forts as I come across them. But I was just like, you know what? I'm going to look for Bowser's Castle, because I kind of remembered where everything was. And I was like, I can always backtrack. And then I found it, and there we go.
Yeah, there were no bridges. By the time Paratroopa got to World 8, you were at Bowser's Castle, so that it pretty much thrashed any opportunity of a comeback there. No bridges in that one. The second race, of course, could have ended up being the great equalizer had it been a couple minutes closer. Then you could have sniped Paratroopa there.
Yeah, I don't think I found any hammers in the second race. I was trying to pick up items here and there, but I couldn't find it. And then yeah, that last world 6, I kind of got turned around because I was like, wait, there's a lock and I don't see the fort. And I was like, oh, it's probably on that like second screen. So I was like, oh, which way do I go to get there? So I just kind of got turned around, especially after like, I think the previous 2 worlds, I was just playing so many levels too. So I was just like, oh man, get me out of here.
Let me ask you something, Paratroopa. How scary was that Piranha's Fireball in 7F2?
Oh yeah, that was really close. I'm pretty sure that if I got hit by that, I would have dropped in and died. I just figured that using a P-Wing on 7F2 would be a little bit safer, but that I didn't account for that.
Yeah, because you don't expect to see that Fire Piranha there at the end where you have to make the SMB3 jump, but you did manage to dodge that, and you were able to escape there because if you take that death there, with what little resources you had left there, who knows how the rest of this could have finished out.
Yeah, to be honest, in that World 8 too, I kind of thought I was going to be behind, which is I went for fortresses that are a little bit further in, because I thought like, well, maybe this 7F2 that's buried behind like this other fortress that's like behind a hand level, like maybe that's where I have to go to beat this, and that's why the race isn't over yet.
That's it. Sorry to interrupt you there, Paratroopa. Night Shifter making a perfect point. The 2 hammers that you ended up getting were in the Sky World, whereas Zodiac used a music box to put them to sleep.
I see.
Those 2 hammers right there were the difference.
Yeah, I like to play Hammer Brothers in no end card seeds just because of this. Like, I get scared that I'll miss out on really nice things and then have to play a bunch of extra levels.
Oh yeah, I didn't music box. I just skipped them because I was like,
oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I could have went down and got them, but I was like, whatever. So,
I don't think I have.
it's just, yeah, they were on the other side for me, so I was like, whatever. But Rando be rando. So
Pretty much, yeah. I think they're in my way, so I think I had to. That's right. They did have 2 hammers. Each one of them did. And
yeah,
that was all the difference.
Yep. So I missed out on those. So yep.
Yeah, and it wasn't even by
you know,
choice that I got them. So there you go.
Yeah. So these things happen.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Big win for you there, Paratroopa, because that's going to improve you to 4-2. That should get you a higher seeding into the bracket stages. Both of you were, of course, guaranteed to make it to the bracket stages with your respective records. Zodiac coming in at 4-0. He finishes at 5-1. Paratroopa finishing at 4-2. So you very well could meet again in the bracket stages coming up soon.
Yeah. We both knew we were going on, but we were both, I think, excited for this race because we knew it was going to be a good matchup. So,
yeah.
Well, we certainly appreciate it, and I know the viewers did as well. The chat was going crazy. We were going crazy. If you watch back the VOD, you must forgive Laws and I for screaming at our microphones for most of that.
Right, exactly. We were losing our minds at what was happening there. I mean, Paratroopa pulling all of the strings there to make that win happen, and then it came down to that Bowser fight. Real good stuff. Both of you both deserve to be in the bracket stages where you're going to be. It's just a matter of what the seedings are going to be and how it's going to be distributed when we release the brackets, as we're getting very close to the end of group play here in the tournament. Again, GG to the both of you. Both of you played extremely well today. Any other questions, Growlwolf?
Not a question, more so just a thank you on behalf of Speed Gaming, the viewers, especially for being here. There's a lot of places they could be, but we really appreciate them being here with us because really, if it wasn't for them, it would just be 2 guys screaming at their microphones. And for Zodiac and Para to put on such an outstanding performance, despite both being in brackets, you still played exceptionally well. So thank you so much for that.
yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Speed Gaming, and everyone involved. Yeah, like I said, I just like to have fun out here racing, and just try to put on a good show. Throw some swag in there. Shell jumping 7.5.
We definitely saw that. Gimp Extreme actually mentioned that in the chat as well. We did notice it. We really appreciate that. That was awesome.
I've been wanting to do that trick in that level, like in a race for like 2 years now, and then I finally got to do it, and I nailed it.
Did nail it. And what actually baffled me more than anything is then you came back down, saw the shell, fireballed it, and then fireballed the others as well. You weren't having anything to do with that again.
Yeah.
Great guys don't look at explosions as they walk away.
Yeah, just trying to have fun.
All right. Thank you very much, both of you, for putting on a terrific show here this afternoon. And again, best of luck to the both of you in the bracket stages of the tournament.
Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up our coverage here on Speed Gaming 2. But please come back later tonight because at 8 p.m. Eastern on Speed Gaming 3, we have got Europsilus versus Leslie Pro 04, and that is a crucial race. That's a one-game play-in race to determine which of these 2 emerges from their group and will advance to the bracket stages. And they will be playing the bracket stage tournament flag. So that means no end card game. Hammers do not break locks. That is going to be a very exciting match. Win or go home. And then after that, at 9 p.m. Eastern, we've got S. Diesel versus the Allen Heffley. So we've got 2 great matches on the docket slated for tonight on Speed Gaming 3. Crawlwolf, any final comments before we wrap things up here today?
If you are not already following our runners, the Speed Gaming hosts that we have, if you're not already following them, what are you waiting for? They have such great content. They put on some really, really, really great things. If you don't already have the schedule bookmarked for the SMB3 Randomizer, we're going to get that link up in the chat here in just one moment. Don't miss a thing, because as soon as you do, you're going to miss a race like this and you're going to regret it. I promise.
Absolutely. So that is going to do it for us here on Speed Gaming 2. On behalf of everybody here on Speed Gaming for bringing us the restream, for our two runners, Paratroopa and ZodiacDredd, please make sure you give both of them a follow. And for my commentator partner, Growlwolf, I'm LOZ Cards Fan 23. Thank you very much for joining us today. We will see you again later tonight on Speed Gaming 3 for more exciting coverage of the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Tournament. Have a great day.
Keep randomizing, keep racing. Take care.